Like, based on my experience, students like receive the session, and at the end, once they almost graduate, everything's gone. They forget everything. You cannot, yeah? You need to update everything later on, especially in LinkedIn. So the headhunter later on could monitor you and maybe like, oh, I want this student later on when he or she already in their final semester, or immediately recruit you once your status is already fresh graduate, for example. So you need to update your information. So the session here not just end now. So don't say to me later on that I forgot about everything, how to write CV and cover letter and also LinkedIn. No, yeah. So once I mentioned regarding how to do this one, I really hope that you can implement it in the future. Either you're working or either you're continuing your study. Because everything you need to write a proposal, you need to write your, including your CV and something like that. Okay? Clear? Yeah? So, if I just start. Now, the learning outcomes for the CV and cover letter is for you to understand and know the difference between cover letter and CV. Later on, you need to be able to write a good one and understand how to produce an effective CV and cover letter for a range of different purposes. Okay? So not just to apply for a job, but later on if you want to continue your study or if you want to propose to be part of a project, you can simply adjust it. Okay? And later on, because this is a workshop, then I need you to kind of like draft the CV and cover letter. So, what is cover letter? Anyone? Come on. I don't want to be the one, yeah.
Yes, this is cover letter. Cover letter it covers the motivations of the person who wrote the cover letter, I think.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone want to add? Yes.
Maybe just for like a short like introduction of yourself, like to someone like that you want a job from.
Reply to. Okay. Now, is cover letter a CV?
No.
Okay. So what makes it different? For example, in the term of a format. Yeah.
Like CV or curriculum vitae has like your last educations and also like it explains like your motivations, like that why you want to apply for this job, like more detailed than cover letter. And also if you have like work like some to a degree that you added it in the CV as well.
Okay, some part of you correct, some part is not. So in the cover letter, because the title is also called letter, the form is also looks like a letter. You are correct, you mentioned the motivation there, whereas this one you cannot put in the CV because the CV is purely information without elaborating it. Whereas here, you can elaborate, for example, why you are interested applying for that position or why you are interested applying for in that industry. Yeah, you put it in the cover letter, not on the CV. Okay? So the cover to put what you cannot put on the CV. Now, these days, not all HR, there are two terms of HR now, human capital or human resources department. They're all the same, okay? So, not every HR in company require this, yeah? They usually directly want you to simply send them their CV, that's it, yeah? If that's the case, then you need to excel during the interview because there's not much space for you to explain your interest. You cannot do the elevator pitch in the CV. Yeah, so you need to excel more during the interview if you really want that job. Okay. Whereas if you got the opportunity to send your cover letter as well, then you can kind of like do it there. But if they simply ask CV, for example, to be sent, it's also open for you to actually send this one along as well. Yeah. I don't actually prefer or suggest you to send the cover letter within the email. Yeah. I think when you want to apply, send an email saying that good morning, blah 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 blah. I'm interested in applying in your position. Kindly find my cover letter and CV attached, and then you put it there instead of like putting your cover letter in your email. Get my point, yeah? Okay. Okay. Now these are the format and the structure. So make sure what you've written there, although I'll send you the PPT later, okay? So you don't need to write too many information. Make sure what you've written there is the core or the key points regarding you, why you're interested in the job, why you're interested in that industry, your skill, yeah, promote yourself, okay? So it has to be around 200 to 350 words, okay? A4, neatly lay out, make sure the margin's the same. And I think as much as you want to show your creativity, better stay with a standard font, okay? You want your cover letter to be readable. Okay, so make sure you either use Times New Roman or Arial. Okay, and the structure is comprised into a 5-part header, greeting, introduction, body, and basic. So this one, I think is more clear. This one A is the header. So you have your information on the top of the page, your name, address, contact number, and email. Make sure what you've written there is the one that you are regularly open. And I suggest if you're applying as a student, applying for a job, use your I3L email address. Not your personal, okay? And then if you know the person, yeah, address it to the person. But if you don't know, then you may just write HR department, or hiring department like that, okay? Make sure you do survey regarding the industry or the institutions that you're applying to. Because later on when they do an interview, so the interviewer will see that you are very motivated to apply there because you learn, you want to know. You already trying to find out regarding the institutions or the industry that you're applying to, okay? I have an experience Last time, when I'm looking for CSD staff, this person, the CV wise is very impressive, okay? But when it comes to interview, when I asked how do you know about I3L, she simply blabbering about something. She said like I3L is a public relation agency, blah blah blah. And I said like okay. So I didn't say much. I just said okay, but okay. So make sure you do research regarding the institution or the industry that you're applying to. Okay. This is just the greetings. Again, do not write to whom it may concern. Yeah. Again, if you don't know the person name, then simply write dear hiring manager or dear HR department like that. Okay, never say to whom it may concern. Now, for the C part, which is introduction, you introduce yourself. So your name, your position, for example, I'm a 4th semester student, 5th semester student, where major in what, blah blah blah, and you are interested to apply for the position that you found out from where, okay? You put it on the introduction part, okay? And for the body part, you mention why you are interested applying to that industry and in that position. And you simply elaborate the skills, the soft skills that you have that aligning with the position that you're applying to. Okay? For example, you are involved in 10 major committees, for example, that you want to show how active you are in student activities, for example. But from those 10, only 2 that is aligned with the position, for example. Don't write that 10. Just write that 2. Because even though you write those 10, the rest doesn't mean anything to the HR because it's not simply aligning with what you're applying to. Yeah. So if you put all those 10, you might simply reduce your opportunity to describe more why you're interested in that company or position, for example. Yeah, because cover letter is 1 page only, and it cannot be too cramped. Yeah, make sure that is readable as well. So don't put too many information, unnecessary information there. Okay? Now, please bear in mind that HR emphasize student, not just their academic. They'll see the academic. If the academic is good, but soft skill doesn't do anything except studying, for example, they will simply put that aside first. They will go with a student with good score or even so-so, like 70 out of 100, for example, but quite active in the committee. Because soft skills is very important when you work. So any of you still lacking of the right points, make sure you start get involved. Because otherwise, you won't be able to write anything there as well. You can only write your skill, the academic skill that you learn in the lab, that's it. But there's no leadership skill there, there's no teamwork skill there that you can prove that you are capable of doing. Yeah? So that point is very important. Last time, during the opening of our apothecary study program, profession, sorry, not study program, profession, I met a lot of HR from Paros, from Kalbe, Dankos, the pharma, yeah, and several others. And I asked them again, when they review a CV, what do they see? Apparently, even they didn't see the score first. They didn't see your GPA first. They see your involvement in campus activities first. Yeah. So again, I'm not threatening. I'm reminding you that if you're still lacking of active participation in committees, then you need to start doing whilst you still can. Because later on, if you're already in semester 7, then I think you're already busy with EP, or if you have to have a project abroad, then it will be quite difficult for you to be active in student organization here at ITREA. Okay? Now, last one will be the closing. Make sure in the closing you mention your availability for them to contact you via what? Okay? And should you, for example, have a full schedule class, then you mention I can be reachable at this time, Monday to Friday, for example, after 5 p.m., for example, if you're very busy during the day. So the recruiter know what time you can be approached, okay? But if you have like a certain date when you are quite free, for example, you may also state it there. Okay, and don't forget to say thank you for the opportunity of reviewing your cover letter. Okay? So far, any questions? Clear? Okay, I move on. I think this is too small. Mostly the same what I just explained to you. Final paragraph, body, okay? This one. This is my example. Oh yeah, by the way, with this example, it's actually lacking of, I think it would be great if the layout is justified. So equal side from left to right, this one is not. So if you compare it to this one, I think, I don't know, this is justified, I think so. This one's justified, yeah? So make sure that, you present it neatly. Yeah, because usually HR have a background in psychology, right? So they know by your presentations of your cover letter and CV, what kind of person you are briefly, okay? Okay, this is simply the summary. Explain about, I think you better start now. So we will go through each part. So open your laptop now. Could you and make your cover letter, the one that I'll just explain. The opening paragraph first, who you are and why you're writing. I'll give you 2 minutes. Yeah, you can start now. Oh yeah, by the way, there will be a register later being distributed. If your name is not there, just simply write it on the blank space. Okay? Later on, I will simply randomly choose anyone to say what is written. don't copy paste. You need to understand each part. Okay?
I'm beginning talking like to I like introduce myself first and then like what did I want to apply or like what do I want to apply then introduce myself.
Assuming that you are applying or don't want to apply, because you when you write this, assuming there's already a vacancy open in a certain field that you choose, and then you simply write based on that. Get it, yeah? If you said that you will apply, means that in the future, right? So it's a pretend future thing, right? I don't want you to pretend future thing, assuming that you're applying it now.
No, I mean like do I like in introducing myself first or like I'm applying for this job first.
It's okay, either way, fine. It's just your language style, yeah. Doesn't have to be strictly like that. But you need to understand that on the first paragraph, what's content is in there. Yeah, but the wording is up to you. Yeah, that's why I don't want you to copy paste, because it's not you. I'm already past 3 minutes. Anyone ready? Finish? Should be, yeah. Kaya can you rate yours?
So, my name is Dear blah blah blah. My name is Freya Madeline and I'm a second year biomedicine undergraduate student from the Indonesia International Institute for Life Sciences. I would like to express my utmost interest to join blah 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 regarding blah blah blah. I will be greatly honored if you could give me the opportunity to be involved in your blah 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 and roll from blah blah blah.
Okay, very good. Who got choose next? Me. I always copy you. Okay, you. Use the mic, please.
Dear blah blah blah. My name is Nilda Sawitri and I am a second year biomedicine student at Indonesia International Institute for Life Sciences. My academic journey has been guided by a deep passion for molecular biology and infectious disease, and I'm writing this letter to express my utmost interest to be involved in one of your project titled blah blah blah.
Okay, very good. So you see different purposes here. One is to attend applying for a project, research project, and the other one is for applying for a position in industry. Okay? So, but don't write to blah blah blah. Again, like I said, if you don't know, to human capital department blah blah. Okay? In company, yeah, the company can say blah blah blah, but the person itself, it's either the name or the department. Okay? Okay, very good. Next is the middle paragraph. Okay? Why you approach or apply to that company or institution, and why that position, and why they need to choose you. This is what I said about promoting yourself. Again, you need to highlight your strongest qualification. Again, remember from 10, for example, soft skills that you have, emphasize those who match mostly with the position that you're applying. Okay, demonstrate your skills and qualities. And later on, it needs to align with the CV that you're making as well. Yeah, so make sure what you've written on the cover letter also available on the CV. Yeah, the CV might be more because what you've written in the cover letter, only those aligning with the position, right? Whereas in the CV, you can write all. Okay? Okay, I'll give you another 3 minutes. Now, stop. Okay, time is up. Finley, can you read yours? Mr. Mark, using the mic.
I believe I am a suitable candidate for this position as I have plenty of experience in blank. I left that blank. And I am particularly drawn to the company as it values a lot of blank.
Okay. Now, that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Now, who else? Annette, you want to try? No. Okay, who would like to try? Yo, okay.
My is not that complete yet, but it's okay.
Sorry?
Not that complete yet.
It's okay.
Um,
Use the mic, please.
I'm saying this like I'm applying for this job because I want to develop food products that are healthy and delicious and to improve the well-being of consumers. As a food technologist, I have experience in researching of food nutrition and also food processing.
Okay. But both of you are quite good. Finley, yours a bit too vague, yeah, because you didn't provide the accurate skill that you mentioned compared to him. What's your name, sorry?
Dave.
Dave, okay, yeah. Dave, you're quite good, but lacking of the soft skills that you need to also promote. Yeah. Again, in every cover letter, you need to put both your academic skills, including your lab skills, as well as your soft skills. Yeah, because people want to know: are you highly motivated? Are you initiative? Are you hard worker? Are you good in teamwork? Are you good in communications? Depend on the position again that you apply. Yeah, don't forget to put that one. Yeah, both of you are missing that one. Yeah, make sure later on all of you state both. Okay. Now, should you still lacking, the reason why I asked you to do it now, then by doing it, you know which part you are still lacking, right? And then you still got time because you are still in fourth semester and sixth semester, you still have the time to fulfill that. Yeah, okay? Okay, let's move on. Ending. So this is the example. Mention your availability. Okay. Again, don't forget to say thank you. And don't forget to put your signature or e-signature. Yeah. I often found students who ask me to check their cover letter. Put essentially yours, his or her name, but without the signature. Okay, make sure you don't miss that one. Actually. Okay, so please do the closing now. And don't forget to put your data on the top of the page, yeah? Name, address, phone number, email. Okay, now, Rido, can you read yours?
I look forward to the opportunity and goodies from you to discuss more about the offering, my qualification, and how I can help your team further. You can. I only write until this part. Only. Yes.
Okay. Margaret, you finished? Who is finished?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just use the microphone then. I look forward to meeting you soon at the earliest convenience to discuss further regarding how I can contribute to the team with the projects that your organization leads, alongside learning more about the team. You can reach me through the contact information I have sent above, though I recommend that you text me through email. Thank you for your time and consideration. I sincerely look forward to hearing from you soon. Sincerely, Frederick.
Okay, the though part that you mentioned that email is a bit too harsh. Yeah, so you might want to change the wording into a more polite one. Yeah, it's too straightforward, as if like the recruiter is the same age as you are. Yeah, so you need to kind of like polish that part a bit. Okay. You can mention that I could be reached at my email, blah blah blah. Yeah. So when you prefer a certain channel, for example, you prefer via WhatsApp or via Line or via email, then you state it there. Okay, you can reach me at my number blah 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 or my email blah blah blah. But if you simply that you can reach me through my contact mentioned above, then all the options there that you stated on the top should be available. It means that you need to check it regularly. Yeah. Again, it will depend on you. Okay. If you think that you rarely open WhatsApp, for example, you are more diligent in opening your email, then better state it there instead of just mentioning that you can reach me to the contact mentioned above. Yeah, because it will be vague. Because if you mention like that, then the preference of how to contact you will be on the HR side, not from your side. Okay, so if you wanted to state more, please do write it at the end on how they can reach you out. Okay? Now, I think let's move on to the next one. So this is the summary. Maximum one side of A4, not more. Okay? If possible, if you know the HR name, then you state it there. If not, again, just HR department, hiring manager, something like that. Make sure that no spelling or grammatical error. There's a lot of tools that you can use these days, so make sure you make use of that. Formal business letter layout, the margins, the font. Make sure it's consistent. Not like the opening paragraph in this font, in this size, and then the next different one. Okay? Make sure it's no less than 11, the size of the font, not smaller, yeah, because it will be hard for the reader to read. Okay? Yeah, so instead of like put your cover letter within your email, put it as attachment on your email. So the email is just an introductory. Don't forget when you email anyone, include anyone, yeah, because I still receive email without nothing, just send. For example, I ask someone to do this, for example, like this one. Later on, I ask you to make this one, right? And then when you submit, nothing, no subject, no word at all, just send the attachment with your task on it. Cannot. You need to have a proper email. Dear who, you explain, kindly find blah blah blah. Okay? I usually did that when I reply to the student. I said, you cannot write like this, you should have like a body paragraph kind. Okay, now these are the do's and don'ts. Personalized cover letter and CV. You simply cannot copy paste and send to so many industries later on. Yeah, and this usually happen when you're fresh graduate or once you've thesis defense. You mentioned that they mentioned that you passed the thesis defense and you start applying. You apply to hundreds industry, and you simply forgot to change either the name of the company or the person. Often happens. Okay? Now, I didn't recommend you to also send 100 because at the end of the day, you'll be overwhelmed with the schedule of interview should you be called to the next phase. Yeah. My son's friend did this. She sent 200, 20-ish, yeah. And then at the end of the day, she also like overwhelmed with the number of interview every day. Yeah. Only apply to those that you are interested in working. It's useless if you get called and at the end of the day you're not going to accept the offer anyway. Yeah, and it will create a bad impression for your alma mater as well. Yeah, so don't do that. Okay. Identify the position you are applying for, including the job code, if any. Yeah. Proofread repeatedly. Again, like I said, no typo, no grammatical error. And do end with a statement of intent, meaning that you are interested for that position. Okay? Don't go beyond one page. Don't repeat claims you made in your resume. Don't forget to change recipient name and company when you apply to different company. Okay? Don't resort to cliche. Okay? Again, like I said, why you need to make it CV and cover letter your own. That's why you don't copy paste from the example because that's not you. Yeah, use your own language style. Yeah, don't handwrite. In my time, where there's no computer, only typewriter, or even before that, yes, we do apply using our handwriting. And in this time, back then, handwriting is very important because it also shows your personality. So if your handwriting is a total mess, then you need to fix it as well. Because later on when you be called for interview, they usually provide you with a form from their institution or their company where you need to fit it in, okay? And if it's unreadable and messy, it represents you at some point, yeah? So make sure that you start writing neatly now. Okay, don't lie. What I meant by lie is kind of like this at some point. You might attend a lot of bright sessions, bright session. Topic A, B, C, very, very impressive and also power talk. But when you attend that session, it's simply to calculate the points that you need to obtain for you to be able to graduate. You simply doesn't hear a thing what the speaker said because your aim for attending that session is simply to obtain points. No, I said you better don't put it in your CV or your cover letter, your CV, no need. Because during the interview when they ask, oh, I'm interested, you actually attend this session where the professor from this talk about this. Can you elaborate more? And then you say, oh, I don't know, I forget. So what's the point? Yeah, it will be backfired to you. So again, either you only write those whom you pay attention and know exactly what the session is all about, or you start paying attention in every session that you attend to option. Okay? Because later on, when the interviewer asks, you can explain. Right? And don't tell life story as well. Okay, they don't need that. If they ask something and you don't know, just that you don't know, don't pretend you know. Yeah? Because everybody, like myself, I still a lot of things that I don't know. We're human. We learn through life. Okay? There's no human that knows everything. So it's okay to say that you don't know. But don't say everything I don't know. It means that you're simply ignoring. Okay? Okay, never, unless you are asked. For example, you've worked in a previous place and then you move to another place. Unless it's necessary, unless they ask you why, then you don't need to say it. Especially never bad mouthing about your previous place, even though it's true. Yeah, for example, your past industry in that you work is very political. People applying nepotism, for example, and you feel uncomfortable, so you move. Never said that when you're applying to the future. Just mention that I don't feel comfortable in the environment, so I'm trying to move to another company. Okay? You don't need to go to details. Okay? Because once you bad mouthing about a certain company, they will start to judge you like, you will definitely bad mouthing about the current company as well. Yeah. So don't create things that they might misjudge you. Okay. So no need to bad mouthing about anything. Don't include a picture of yourself in the cover letter. Cover letter, again, like I said, is a letter, so the format is like that. Again, don't use to whom it may concern. Clear? Okay. Move on. Cover letter. This is just summary. Okay. Move on. We already covered this one. Now, CV. So if I say a resume, is it a CV or a cover letter? Resume. You've heard about that, right? Resume. Is it a CV or a cover letter?
They're neither.
Anyone knows? If it's stated resume, what is actually being asked? Is it a CV or is it a cover letter? Anyone? Yes, Jason?
CV. It's.
You're guessing, yeah.
Wait.
Don't guess.
Wait. What's the question again? I forgot.
Resume.
Resume.
If someone asks about resume, is it a CV or a cover letter?
It's neither.
No.
What?
Neither.
It's a CV then.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
also a CV.
It's referring to a CV, yeah, instead of cover letter. Okay. Now, again, like I said, CV is somehow similar to cover letter in the term of information, but the presentation of it, it's not in paragraph, but more to bullet points. Okay. So it provides information regarding your academic, work experience, organization experience, anything that you participated. Not limited to the application or the job position that you're applying. Yeah. In here, you can state everything that you've attend, participate, done and everything, achievement, you name it. Okay? But again, this has also a limitation, maximum 2 sheets of A4 paper. Yeah, that's why even though you have so many, for example, you need to limit which one is aligning with the position. Get my point, yeah? At some point, this is more free for you to put everything that you participated, but since the maximum page is only 2, then you need to screen it. Okay? Now there are lots of templates these days, right? I think one of the common one, I don't know, I usually use Canva. But there are an ATS CV if you're familiar with it. Anyone know what an ATS CV is? Have you heard about that? Have you? Anyone ever heard about ATS? Yes? No? How many of you ever heard about ATS? Raise your hand. Okay, not many. Only 2. Okay, can you say what is it then? ATS? Yes, applicant tracing system. So it's actually a software where companies, mostly big companies, yeah, because the software are so costly, to screen easily applicants that apply to that company or institution. Yeah. So they have this template that emphasize the keyword of the applicant, so later on when they apply and submit, the system can easily screen them according to what the HR need. Yeah, so it will save time and save time. Okay. Now the information that you need to put on your CV is, of course, personal details. You need to write and promote yourself here, explaining who you are. Elevator pitch is here, okay? And education background. Don't go as far as kindergarten, okay? I think even high school is, start with high school is already more than enough, okay? So high school, and then where do you continue your undergraduate program? So later on, if you continue to master or even doctoral, put it there, yeah? But no lower than high school, okay? And work experience, lab. If you already have experience doing internship, it will be beneficial. I think you need to start thinking from now. Like for example, later on, once you graduate, will you continue your study or work in an institution, educational institution where you're doing a research or a research project, something like that, or you're going to work in an industry? Because if your intention later on is to be able to work in an industry, but for EP you do a research project, then you are lacking behind your friend who do the work in the industry. Get my point, yeah? So later on, if you are interested to work, then make sure your EP internship in the industry, not doing research project. Otherwise, you simply lost the time. And later on, the recruiter will prefer those who have background internship working, not doing research project. So make sure you already research and know it from now what you want to do later on. Okay? Achievements, what achievement means here, meaning that, for example, competition, you win that competition, yeah, not simply you participate in that competition. That's not achievement, not yet an achievement. That's only participation. So if you put title achievement, make sure it is achievement, not participation in a competition or conference. Education and training, references if you have. Now this one is, like I said, taken from Canva template. But these two, especially this one, is the ATS type. Yeah. I think that there are also templates free available online. You can simply type ATS CV templates, and yeah, there's available, and you simply can choose. Again, most ATS is preferred like this, or even more simple, like on the top here, not as big font as this one, smaller. And then mostly only text, not like this. But I think nowadays they kind of improve it a bit, so this type is also available. But I personally don't know because ITL doesn't have this software either, because if we recruit, we didn't recruit like thousands employees. So I think company that use this or apply this or purchase this software, usually a very big company. Yeah. But it will be good if you use this template because it's kind of like allocate the key point of what you need to write. So it will be straightforward. Again, on the top, in the introduction, this is the personal profile, similar to LinkedIn. You need to emphasize who you are, and also this one is your elevator pitch. So make sure it's uniquely you. And when people read this, they want to scroll down for LinkedIn, and they want to read more and know more about you if it's a CV. Okay? But don't lie. Okay? You may elaborate, you may make it as an elevator pitch, but again, don't lie. Okay, now I would like you to make this first. Okay? So make the introductory, the personal profile for your CV. Don't forget to include your data on top. Give you 5 minutes for this one. You may find the template on the internet, but I also put it here. minutes, yeah. I personally a person who is creative. I consider myself a bit creative. So I like CV that is more to a Canva type of teacher. But in your case, since you are all life sciences, I think you might stick to the more simple one. Yeah. And when explaining your lab skill, for example, you don't need to use the one that has a bar thing, for example. It's fun, but yeah, I don't think it's aligning with your field. Yeah, if you are a interior designer, for example, fashion designer, photography, something like that, yes, that aspect is crucial. So the more creative presentation that you can put on your CV, the better it is. But in your case, don't think so. Yeah. So again, you need to adjust it accordingly. I'm not saying that you cannot, yeah, but I think most HR in the field of life sciences may not put that as priority. So I think the most part here that I'm giving you the 5 minutes is the introduction one where you need to put your elevator pitch, yeah. Because for your name, yeah, most of you just write your name address, blah blah blah. Not so crucial. Do this time for making your elevator pitch.
Yes, what should I include on the description of this?
What is your passion about? Like for example, what is your study program? Biomedicine.
Yes.
And like very enthusiastic in, for example, what cell culture? I don't know. I mean, like you need to promote yourself. Again, remember the key word for the introduction part or the elevator pitch is that you need to be able to promote yourself, so those who read it first would like to know you more. Yeah, that's the key word. Okay, I think time is up. So, who's ready? I think when I ask that, everybody starts. Don't let me miss one, yeah? So, Bianca, can you read yours?
I am a dedicated and driven second
Can
year.
you use this one so everybody can hear?
I am a dedicated and driven second year food technology student at Indonesia International Institute for Life Sciences, ITRL, combining strong laboratory expertise with excellent communication skills honed through hands-on experience and organizational involvement. I excel under pressure, embrace leadership roles and confidence, and approach new challenges with enthusiasm and adaptability. My interests lie in food development and packaging, with a particular focus on shelf life optimization, food microbiology, and sensory evaluation.
Okay, very good. Not just stated her strong both soft skill and academic, but also emphasize her interest. Yeah. So make sure when you write the here, it's actually clear on who you are briefly, yeah, who you are and what you interest to become. So later on, the HR will look through the detail later on below. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's move on. When you write your education on the CVs, start with the current one, yeah, and move backwards. Yeah, so if you are now at I3L, so you start with I3L first and then move to your high school. If you're already a graduate student studying master, for example, you start with that first, and then the second one will be I3L, and then the third one will be high school, or you don't write high school at all. Okay? Degree study, relevant courses or modules that you might find related to the position that you applying to, or pre-university, but I don't think this applies to you. Work experience, this is also very, very crucial. Again, like I said, most industry now would prefer those applicants who need less training. Yeah. If you're familiar, there are some industries that also open for management training, right? For their part, their intention is to prepare the applicant for managerial position directly. But for the entry level, directly to work, they prefer those who have background of the experience prior before. So make sure when you do your internship, you're already familiar in a certain field. Okay? Your full-time, part-time. So if you do have during break, a holiday break and semester break, which is quite a long time. If you are not in semester 7, this is for cohort 24 then, please do start applying for internship. That's my suggestion. If you don't take it, it's up to you as well. But again, like I said, the more experience that you have related to your study program, then the more beneficial for you later when you're applying for either a research project or industry. So make sure it's related as well. Okay? Now when you mention regarding the work experience, for example, this one, you indicate the month and year. Doesn't have to be including the date. Yeah. The important one is the month and year. and you explain the position and what did you do when you handle that position. So it'll give a lot of information to the recruiting person, are you suitable for a job. Sometimes the title, because sometimes the position, the title of the position might be similar or even the same, but the job description might differ from one place to another. Yeah. So this is actually the thing that is crucial, not this one. Yeah. So make sure you put it there. And if the thing that you handle is quite a lot, or you, for example, have a lot of work experience, then again you need to screen what you write here. Yeah, so just adjust accordingly. Again, a maximum is 2 pages for CV, no more. When you mention about your skills, I think most of you will mention about either your managerial or business skills for ISB and lab skills for SLS. And also the soft skills that you have need to be aligned with the job. The proof, when mentioned the provide evidence is mostly when you are interviewed. Again, like I said, when you do a write session, power talk, or any other seminar, make sure you know what it's all about, because during the interview they will ask for evidence, and when you can elaborate what that session is all about, then it's a proof for them that you do attend and you do understand. Yeah. Okay. Now this is actually the soft skills that that most industries want. So this one actually you might learn when you're studying. Either if you're studying in the business area, you might find financial literacy. And if you learn social studies, you might learn the cultural. And in your case, it's your scientific. But this one is the competency that all industries need. Like this one is critical thinking, problem solving. Most industry will give you a case and ask you how, as a Gen Z, for example, how you would like to solve the issue, for example. And you need to show your creativity when you also solve that issue. And make sure, I think most people having a problem with communication because we tend to assume someone knows about it, assume that it has been informed, blah, blah, blah. So many, yeah. Even myself sometimes still facing this one. So make sure later on when you do work, you know, when you do internship as well, you know your who's your field supervisor, who's your advisor at I3L. Make sure you communicate your progression to both of them, okay? Should you have any difficulties, also communicate with them, yeah? And in the past, I have experience where there is a different opinion between the I3L advisor and the field supervisor. Now, if that happens, what should you do? You need to think, because this might happen to you. That should not, but because in the past it happened, then touch wood, it happened to you, you need to know what to do. Anyone? This is the case, okay? So the student is having a research project in a university A, in country A, and the field supervisor have opinion B, whereas I3L advisor has opinion C. So what do you do? Anyone? Vigo, don't hide on the back. Come on, Vigo. So if that happened to you, what do you do? Can you use whose mic there? Whose mic?
So if there's a conflict between me and the supervisor of the project or EP or this or whatever, first, of course, I will try to resolve the problem by apologizing or like, so making a good term with the supervisor. And if like it fails, then I'll try to consult with my I2L supervisor or like yeah.
No, I mean like this. You are in a project, right? And then you, again, like I said, they usually a regular meeting with your field supervisor as well as the Israel supervisor, okay? You present your findings, for example, blah, blah, blah. And then the field supervisor said, okay, with that, then we need to do A, okay? And then you also present with the I3L, right? Because you are simply inform about your progression. And the I3L advisor said, oh, you should, with that, you should do B. And which one? It happens.
Are we in the same room?
Sorry?
We're, in your case, are we in the same room with the both the supervisors?
In the same room, what do you mean?
Like, do the supervisors know that they're clashing?
Once the advisor, the field supervisor is from another country.
Also, they don't know.
No.
Transfer before the information and like ask
Yeah, so what do you do? If you facing that situation, what do you do? Because you need to continue the project based on the advisor advice, right? And then what? Anyone? How about you? Yes.
Firstly, I would try to first I would try to mediate. Is it just like a difference in opinion on how to continue, or what's the situation?
They won't listen. Each of them is like stick with their input because it's totally different. I mean, like if it's similar, then yes, that could be like a solution, right? Because it's quite similar. But this one is totally different.
This is how to continue with the experiment.
Yes.
Is the issue.
The approach to the medium experiment.
I would try to mediate. First, I'd like to hear both points as to why they think their choice is the superior option. But they won't listen to one another whatsoever. I would go with the person giving me the grades.
the person in giving you the grades. Okay.
Well, but it's not my project, right?
It's not your project. Again, like I said, because when you again, like I said, this is real case. Yeah, it happened. So the students is very confused on what to do because the students cannot continue unless they adopt either opinion from the field supervisor or the I3L advisor. Again, like I said, this student is doing a research project abroad, yeah, with the field supervisor's project.
In that case, do I have an opinion? Aren't I forced to do what my field supervisor tells me to do?
Sorry?
Do I have an opinion? Don't I have to follow what the field supervisor tells me to do? Because it's their project.
Yes. I mean, like, yeah, the situation is like that. So, what do you do?
Well, because it's the field supervisor's project, I have to follow them, right? Because if I don't follow them, will they kick me out of the project?
I think that's the case. Yeah. I'm not saying that you need to ignore or disrespect the I3L advisor. I think it would be better if you brought this up to the HOD first. Yeah. For them to acknowledge the issue. But again, in my opinion, not just the one giving me the score, but you also need to understand whose project is this, right? If this is the project of A, then you simply need to apply on what A suggests. Common sense, yeah? Again, like I said, this is not being disrespectful to anyone. This is life skill. Okay, you might find this kind of conflict somewhere, yeah, and you need to be able to overcome it. In this situation, I think it might be difficult for the students to face, yeah, because it's quite confusing because the students respect both, and unfortunately they are in different opinion. Okay, but that is my suggestion. Should you encounter such issue, please bring it up to your HOD so they are also aware of this and will later support you and help you in finding the best solution for your situation. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's move on. When you later on either work or even nowadays, you need to also show your curiosity, meaning that even a slight information that you receive, you not simply just accept as it is, but you do some research about it. Okay, have an initiative. When you do have hindrance, difficulties, make sure you show persistent. Yeah, shows your motivation. Adaptability. If it's not in your comfort zone, then every human have the skill to adapt. Leadership, you can train this by actively involved in student organization, and being a leader is not or totally different than a boss. Yeah. If you are being chosen as a leader and what you do is simply just telling people what to do, then you're not a leader. You are a boss. Yeah. A leader requires you to monitor, to guide, your member. Okay? Not just simply give orders. You do this, you do that. That's it. No, that's not a leader. Okay? So leadership is very important as well, but again, not everybody is a leader. Okay? So how do I know that I have a leadership? And then you need to train it. Then you need to try and look if you are able to be in that position. If you attend interview and apply to become the PIC of an event, for example, student event, which means that you're applying for leadership skills and never get it, it might be that at the moment, you're not suitable enough. Yeah, so don't be discouraged. So just first, if you think that you're not doesn't have that very strong leadership, then you need to accept yourself as well. Okay? But if you do have it and you think you're just lacking a bit, for example, then you need to push yourself harder. Okay? Social and cultural awareness, it's additional, but it's also good for you to know, especially if you're in a business side, how to market for a certain country, certain region, so you have to know that. So it's quite crucial if you're in that position. Again, like I said, all of these skills, except the one in the middle, might need to adjust to the position that you're applying. Again, like I said, achievement and awards, this is optional because not everybody join competition and or win in competition, right? So if you don't participate in any competition, this is not a compulsory aspect, but if you do and you win, this is a plus point. Yes? No, it's not considered as achievement. Yeah? Okay? So again, if you mention the title in the CV as achievements, then it should be those you win. But if you want to include, for example, you do join a lot, but unfortunately you haven't win yet, for example, then you can put participations and then you can list it. Yeah? To support, for example, your applying to the position. Okay, your CV. Okay. Again, in both, in all documents, please use clear font, not those fancy handwriting things. Cannot read it. Okay. Use bold and larger font to highlight your name and headings. Have a sensible email address. That's why I suggest you to use a formal one if you prefer, for example, to use other than I3L students, for example, yeah. And don't use your personal that is looks unprofessional, like for example, cuteMaria@gmail.com, for example, yeah. Or Capybara Maria, for example, like that. No, it's not professional. So make sure if you don't have it, then you have to create one that is professional. Yeah. So for example, the one that you have, like for example, the one that I just mentioned, Cute Maria. I only have that one, for example. And the other one is my I3L one, but I don't want to use the I3L, for example. Then you have to create another one that is more formal. Yeah, I think already covered all of this. Yeah. Yeah. Again, in CV bullets points, whereas in cover letter narrative. Yeah. Again, but the rest is similar. Okay. Now, I have once experienced becoming an HR once back in, I forgot what year, 2006 I think, or 7, yeah, around that time. Oh my god, how many, every day I receive hundreds of applicants. So this is just a brief summary, like 1 in 4 HR managers receive 50 resumes per job listing or more. So unless you present the presentation of your CV and cover letter is neat and eye-catching at some point in the term of your skill, the keywords, then I will simply just, okay, skip, because I have to handle so many. Yeah. It's similar like when people saw you, first they saw your CGPA. Yeah, first impression. And then later on they read further on. Yeah. So the presentation of your CV and cover letter also, it's like the eye-catching one first, and then so they want to like read more. Again, like I said, when you write, despite of the presentation in the form of the hard copy one, the look, the layout and everything, the elevator pitch on the introductory plays a huge and crucial role. Okay? Now, the HR is looking for those who stated that they are good in problem solving. Okay, and leadership comes on the second part. Oral and written communication. Team building, because I think majority of jobs or everything that we do is in a team. Okay, because we are social creature anyway. Okay, so team building is also important. Now, I would like to highlight those of you who are introvert or very or highly introvert. Then you need to train this one, because I think it's a bit struggle for you to be in a group, participate, blah blah, because it's drain your energy at some point. Yeah, so it's additional work for introvert. Doesn't mean that it's wrong being introvert. Okay, again, like I said, I'm introvert. Before I present this, I have to practice it first to make yesterday to make sure that I'm ready. I don't think if it's extrovert need to do that, but because I'm introvert, I need to do that. Okay, so yeah, it's just part of being introvert, nothing wrong. You just need to work extra. Okay, and lastly is the performance and productivity improvement. So usually in the interview, you will be presented with a case. Not always, depend on the position that you're applying, and you need to be able to come up with a solution, quote unquote, from the case that the HR presented to you. This is also trained, like they want to see your creativity as well as your problem solving skills. Okay? Okay, any questions? Yes, you know.
My name is Ridwan, miss.
Ridwan, sorry.
Okay, so I think I want to ask further question about like the experience and achievement part for the CV. For example, if we only go to the semi-final or as a finalist but not a winner, do we still?
Yes, it's considered as achievement.
It's considered.
Yes. The best poster, it's already included. Yeah, semi-final, finalist, blah blah blah, still included. You can put it there. Any questions? Yes.
I want to ask if, for example, we join several competitions and we have awards in different competitions. In the CV, do we put the one where we achieve the highest? For example, we get the gold medal, or do we put the one that is the hardest, even though we don't get the highest award?
Again, like I said, if your title, like, how could I give you, let me show you an example, yeah. I think you might be sample. Okay, this is, can you see it? How to make it bigger? Oh, this one, can I make it bigger here? Can you see? So if the title here, for example, the title is educational level, right? If I move down, the sheet put, if you put achievements, yeah, the title achievement here, then you have to state only things that you win. Yeah. But if you want to put everything, including the one that you win, just put other experiences or other participations. Then you could put both competition, competition that you win, conference that you attend, competitions which is hard but you didn't win. You can put it there. Yeah. Again, what's the title that you put here need to be aligned with the data below. So if you do join a lot of competition and you do win a lot, then you can put achievements, blah blah blah. But if you join a lot, only win a few, then I think you can put as other participations or other experiences. Yeah. In other experiences, you can also put, for example, your internship that is not related at all with the application. It's simply just emphasizing that you simply cannot, you simply maximize every spare time that you have, for example, like that. Yeah. So yeah, you can put it there. Okay. Any other?
Sorry, but my question was more about the order instead of like do we put it or not. Like for example, if we won like a national level and international level, but in the international we have like a bronze award. In the national we have like a gold award. Where
Put
do
it
we?
international first.
International.
International first.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now I would like. Now later on, yeah, they already changed this. Later on, it was supposed to be an example that I want to show you regarding a certain position at Unilever, but apparently it was still there 2 days ago, but today it's gone. Later on, I would like you to search for a position that you interested in applying in a company that you are also interested, because I'm trying to make this as vivid as possible for you in the future, okay? And you make the cover letter as well as the CV aligning with the position that you're applying, yeah? So later on when you submit to me, to CSD again, please give me, no, if you give me the link then it might be gone just like this. I think a screenshot of the position that you're applying as well as the company. Yeah, and then that's for the attachment, and then you make cover letter as well as the CV for that one. Yeah, just only one. Okay. Later on, I really hope that you can implement this knowledge that you gain from this session for future application that you're interested in, either for research project, internship, or job application. Okay? Any more questions for cover letter and CV? All clear, yeah? Okay, does your CV need to have photos? Not necessary, but it will be good. Yeah, again, like I said, it depend on the application that you're applying to. For example, during the long holiday end of academic year holiday, and there's an exhibition for car mobile exhibition, for example. They usually have this what do you call it? Not fashion show, like the car exhibition, yeah. They used to have a lot of marketing female that they use with life, right? So in that case, they need photos is crucial because they have a certain looks, maybe even hair, height, and everything. Yeah, again, like I said, depend on the job that you're applying to. Yeah, but for anything related to life science, work in a lab, I don't think it's necessary. But if you prefer you put it, then it's fine as well. Okay, now we move on to the last one. Oh, wow, I have 15 minutes left. LinkedIn profile, similar to CV in the form of like online. Yeah, very, very similar. Now, what is the purpose of you build a LinkedIn profile? How many of you already have LinkedIn? Not many. Okay, for those of you who still hasn't had one, please create one, because LinkedIn is the media, is a platform where headhunters, job seekers, the ones who's searching for you to be hired, is searching through this platform. Okay, so you need to have this one in order for them to start like noticing you. Okay. And the purpose for this workshop, of course, the same as the previous one, for you to be able to create the outstanding LinkedIn features or profile that the headhunters aiming to get you as soon as you graduate from 1-3 up. Now, the features is have headlines, the same as the introductory part where you need to put your elevator pitch. Okay. In here, of course, they require you to upload your photos. Please, again, use a formal and professional one. Doesn't have to look serious. Yeah, I think a bit of smile it's okay. If you, for example, from other study program, like more creative one, photography, something like that, then I think a more casual style is fine. But since you are in a more formal lab kind of thing, I think a formal photo should suit better. Okay? And later on, there's an about part explaining about who you are. Similar about the introductory in the cover letter. Again, same education, skills, job experience, license or certification. If you don't have, then no need. Okay? Oh, sorry, I write those. So this one is the must one. This one, if is available. So once you've already worked, and especially if you already work for 2 years or more, then I think your colleague or even your supervisor might endorse you. Yeah, and it enrich your LinkedIn profile. If I may give example, Rama, sorry, I haven't asked your consent, but I'm using, this is our cohort 2017. He's quite familiar in YouTube, Productivity Boy. He's biomedics and graduates, member of student council as well, LMD. Okay. If you see, this is his heading. Okay. And if I may go to his profile. Oops, what is it? Sorry, this is so thin. Why go to center? Let's go to Ramadan. Rama. Okay. Okay, his tagline is become a value creator, work less, earn more. You might find your tagline later. Okay, I'm sorry I cannot use mine. I used to have it, but sometimes I don't know what's wrong. The data is corrupted or something like that. I don't know. So I have to delete it. So I'm sorry if I have to use others. Okay, if you see here, you don't need to put activity as if you need to post it often. But should you actively involve in research, blah blah blah, you might put it there to again enrich your profile. Yeah, because Rama in this case is a content creator and motivator as well. He has a lot in his activities. Okay, he mentioned directly about his working experience. Okay. Then he also include his study time at I3L. Okay, like that. Okay, he has worked at Malaga Genetics as a research intern. See, yeah, you can simply see. This is just one of the reference. Yeah. Okay. So the other one, the Ken Wong, I don't think I show you that one because he's actually a designer, so you might see the difference because with a designer, he also provides a link for his portfolio where the recruiter might see his design style, something like that. Yeah. Okay, I think it's this one. Any questions? Okay, so you need to make now 3, yeah? Some of you already have your LinkedIn, so maybe you need to revisit your LinkedIn and make sure it eye-catching in the term of like the headhunters want to know you more. Yeah. So later on, when you submit your cover letter, CV, please also, when you email us, also provide the link of your LinkedIn profile. So later on, CSD will check. Yeah. For those of you who come here, I will check one by one to make sure that you align and what you've been informed. Now, At the end, I would like you to also evaluate. For example, when you apply blah blah blah, you finally found out that the position required you to have leadership, for example, and apparently you haven't been involved much in student organization and have no experience in becoming a leader, for example, then leadership is still empty. Then you reflect that with this I understand that I'm lacking of leadership skills, and also mention what you plan to do. Yeah. Again, like I said, this is kind of like a wake-up call for you as well to start preparing to make sure that later on when you graduate from I3L and looking for a job, it will be quite quick for you to get a job, okay? And what I'm suggesting also, like some of you might want, I want to have a gap year. I don't recommend, because it's quite a struggle these days with the number of graduates to find a job. If you still want to have a gap year, then it will cannot reduce your opportunity for the future. Yeah. So you either immediately trying to find work, or you start planning to continue your study. I don't think gap year is okay, but it's up to you again. But you have to understand the consequences of having that. Yeah, and do start looking for a job if you're planning to work, or even when you want to continue your study. Like as soon as the information regarding your thesis defense is out. Yeah. So I think once you graduate, you will immediately get a position, or should be less than 3 months. Yeah. Because in accreditation, your study program will have the highest score if all graduates within that respective study program got a job, got placement before 3 months. Yeah, right, Sharon? Before 3 months. Otherwise, your accreditation for your study program score is lower. If you want to get full mark and have the status of unggul, then yes, 100% of graduates of that year should have a placement less than 3 months after your graduation. So in that case, you graduate in December, respective year accordingly, then you should have a placement before March on the following year. Okay? Clear, yeah? Any questions? We will email you again regarding the tasks to make sure that you fully understand. I'll give you more than enough time. You can submit by the latest of, what is March? 11th April. Yeah. So again, do it wholeheartedly, because this is not for me, this is for you. Should you have, doesn't have to be all correct, doesn't have to be perfect, because later on I will give you input on how you need to improve in order for you to be suitable for the position. But once you are able to identify what you're lacking of, that's actually already a plus point, and what you need to do is simply just fulfill it. Okay? Any questions? I think my time's up. 3 minutes left. Yes, Jason?
Where will you send the questionnaire? Email?
Yes, I just said. I'm not going to send a questionnaire.
Oh.
I'm going to email you about the task. Okay. Later on, there will be evaluation regarding this session. Please make sure you also fill it in. Those of you who attend today's session, as well as submitting me the task that I gave you, then I will grant you 2 bright points. Okay? Make sure you register, you sign the registration form. All already did? Okay. Maybe Miss Sharon could show you the only those who hasn't signed maybe. Oh, okay. Okay, everybody, need you to scan there to confirm your attendance. Okay? Okay, once again, thank you so much for your time, and I really hope that this session is benefit for you, for your understanding in writing a proper or good cover letter and CV as well as LinkedIn profile. Yeah? Okay, thank you.